Hello and welcome to another pen video from me, Penultimate Dave. So this is the unboxing and review of the William Shakour, and this is now officially called the Titan pen. And I'm actually quite glad of that because I was the one that came up with the name for William. There were a number of names that I came up with. One was called the Titan, and the reason why is because it's a very large pen. And let me show you next to a Leonardo Momento Zero. it's a very large pen, and the other name also was in the Atlas. And the reason why I came up with the name Titan is because it has a number 8 size titanium Bock nib on it, and you can see here that this is a very large nib. It has a lovely ebonite feed on there, and it really is a very wet writing pen. So you may have actually already seen that I own a number of these pens. So if I put that one there, I also have a purple version of the pen, and I also have a green version of the pen. Now, when I was at the London International Pen Show, William had a number of other colours on his table, and he had a really light blue with a hint of green in it. It was a little bit more turquoisey colour, and it had this very nice sort of like icy effect going on, like that the red and the green have more of. But they were rounded versions of the pen, and I really wanted a faceted version, and I'd already bought the purple and the green ones at the Midland Pen Show in June 2019, and I'd already said to William soon after that I would likely be interested in another one, and it probably would be the red one. And when I was at the Midlands Pen Show, soon after when I bought these two, I bought these with medium number 8 Bock nibs, and I also bought a spare broad nib because I wasn't quite sure with the titanium nib which one I would prefer the most. The mediums open very well and actually turn more into a broad. So I've had the broad nib sitting around, and I said to William that I'd really like just to have a pen if it was possible without the nib, and he said sure. So I ordered the red one, and I picked that up at the London International Pen Show from him. So the red one is exactly the same as the green and the purple ones there. So it is a piston filling pen. This is the piston knob here, and it has 3 ink windows here, and if I rotate the pen round, you'll see another 3 ink windows. So you can actually see, so the ink level is basically all the way up to here. It holds around 3 milliliters of ink. So it is, and you can see there where the ink is actually stopping there, because the rest of this is the piston mechanism. But you can see that that holds a lot of ink. It doesn't have a clip. It's a reasonably weighty pen, very large in girth, in diameter, and also in length as well. So let me just do a size check on this pen, and you'll see that here. The length of the pen is about 167 millimeters in length. The cap is around 65 millimeters in length. And then if I unscrew the body here, you will see from the tip of the nib it's around about 158 millimeters in length. So it is a very large pen. Now, one thing that I had mentioned on my initial review was it was very difficult to cap and uncap these because it wasn't lining up properly, and it can rotate a bit, and it's more difficult to put the cap on. This one, I don't know if William's done anything different to it. Maybe he's made a slight improvement, but for me, like, although you can still get it off center, it actually goes on a lot better than one of the earlier nibs. So if I, like that, I'm having great difficulty trying to get it on. And he says, there you go. So I think William may have made a slight difference, or maybe he's polishing the pens differently. I'm not entirely sure. I think the threads here are pretty much identical on the pen, so I don't think there's any difference there. It may just be the material, and it's just one of those things. But for me, I find that this cap actually does screw on a lot easier than the other two caps that I have. So that for me is a bonus, whether or not it was intentional or not. I do love this 3D printed material. I love the sort of icy effect that it gives when it layers these pens bit by bit here. It really is a nice pen to use. If you like large pens, then it's a great pen. Now, you can unscrew the section here. I'm not going to do so because the pen is inked up and I'm going to get ink everywhere. But this is how you get to the whole piston mechanism to actually properly flush the pen out if you wanted to. There's silicone grease here on the threads on the section, or on the inside threads on the section, so it can screw into the body there. But for me, this is a beautiful pen, and I do like these pens. They are finished to a very high standard, and I do like these a lot. So in terms of weight, the weight inked up is just under 45.5 grams. So that's not a light pen. The cap itself, though, is a very light, just over 8 grams. And then the pen, bearing in mind that this has 3 milliliters of ink in here, it's just under 33.5 grams. So 3 milliliters equals 3 grams. So you're talking about 30 grams uninked, or sort of the whole of the pen is 45. So it's going to be around about 42 grams without the ink in there. But this is a really nice pen. If you get a chance at any of the UK pen shows or any other pen shows, because I think William is starting to go to other pen shows as well, if you get a chance to try these pens out, do try them. The number 8 size box titanium nib in these are really, really nice. So currently William is charging £75 for the pen, and then I believe it's £100 or £110 for the nib. Yes, £110. So it's basically £185 all in with the nib. But to be honest, for this pen, I really do think it's worth it. So for me, this was a really good buy for me. I already had 2 prior pens from William, and I really liked those pens a lot, so I decided I would buy a 3rd one, and to be honest, I might even be buying a 4th or a 5th one at this rate. So in this pen comparison, left to right, we have a Visconti Homo Sapiens London Fog, we have our Leonardo Officina Italiana, and this is the Momento Zero in Hawaii. We have another Leonardo Officina Italiana, and this is the Mediterraneo, the celluloid version with a gold nib. Then we have the 3 William Shakour pens, and as you can see, these will not fit in my pen tray. So I need a larger pen tray. If anybody has any ideas, please let me know. But this is the William Shakour Titan in green, in purple, and now in red. We have a very oversized Classic Pens LB5 in the Kawasaki. We have a Visconti Opera Master, and this is the Crimson Tide, which also is an oversized pen. We have a Visconti Homo Sapiens Bronze Age Lava, and we also have the Visconti, and this is the Jacques de Molay, which again is a very, very large pen, but just about fits there in my pen tray. Some people might get put off because there's no clip on it. The round ones also don't have a clip, and they are going to be more susceptible to roll on the desk. That's my only concern about having a round one, even though the round one polishes a lot more than these faceted ones. But you can see here, it really is a nice pen. So let me do a writing sample. So this is the William Shakour, and it's the Titan, and it's a broad titanium nib. Now it does have a little bit of feedback. Titanium nibs typically do. Although this writes so wet, I don't feel it as much as some of the other titanium nibs I have tried, which have been bulk nibs, strangely enough, but they've been titanium nibs on a co-nib. So the lovely red ink in here is an ink that I also purchased at the London International Pen Show, and it's KWZ, and it's Thief's Red. And that's a beautiful red for me. I wanted a few more KWZ inks, so I decided to get those. In terms of line variation, this really is a broad nib. Because it's titanium, you can flex it a bit more. And you can see here that you can add some line variation in. Now, in terms of ink wetness, let's have a look at this. You can hear that feedback there. So that is quite a wet nib, quite a wet ink as well. And this is an A4 page, so you are getting the wetness going at least halfway across the page. So for me, that is a very wet nib. And I do love these titanium nibs. I personally feel that these nibs are almost the same to the Scribo nibs, which are the original Omas OM81 gold nibs. Now, obviously, this is a titanium nib. The Scribo or Omas nibs were gold nibs. But I find it has a similar bounce to them. Maybe the Scribo Bock nibs, because they are Bock nibs, they have a little bit more bounce to them, but this titanium does have some nice flex. But with all nibs, you don't want to push it too much, and especially a titanium nib, so you do have to be careful. Do not try to flex them hard because they won't come back. So that's my unboxing and review video of the William Shakour Titan fountain pen in red. Thanks for watching. Please like, comment, subscribe, and I'll see you on the next pen video. Bye bye.